Thank you so much for joining us on AskHowAbout again. I'm your host, Brian J. Buddy. And today, I'm going to talk about something really, really terrifying. It's 2020. Yes, that's right. The year 2020 has been terrifying. And don't get me wrong, it started off with all of our hopes and dreams. We wanted this year to be incredible. It's the start of a new decade. The decade where we become the men and women we want to be. But apparently, 2020 has its own plan for us. And it started off with talks on World War III. Now, I'm not going to speculate, but I'm pretty sure it was going to get blown over even at the beginning. And then, the Australian bushfires happened. But I thought it was nature, it's going to sort itself out. And then, well, you know the story, the coronavirus outbreak, global pandemic, and right now, up to 4 million people have been infected by it. So, it's not been a soft year for us, is how I would lightly put it. But we are humans. We are at the top of the food chain. We can overcome this. And I'm an optimist and I believe that. So with that attitude, I switched on TV. And then I saw this.
A major gas leak at a chemical plant in Visakhapatnam has left 5 people, including a child, dead and 20 in a critical condition. Around 2,000 people were inside the chemical plant when the hazardous gas leaked. Local administration and the NDRF have sprung into action and are carrying out a massive evacuation drive. 3,000 people have been evacuated from the nearby areas so far. The incident happened at the LG Polymers plant near Gopalapatnam. This happened at around 2:30 a.m. on Thursday.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was a gas leak from a chemical plant in Visakhapatnam, killing over 11 people and up to 1,000 people were affected by this. Firstly, our thoughts and prayers for the families who have been affected by this and for the people who have died. And I really wish a speedy recovery for all those people who have suffered. And secondly, on a personal take, I could not believe this was happening. Think about this. It's like all the bad news started to decided to just show up on 2020 and blow up in our face. If you want me to give you a comic release or a punchline, well, I can't. Because this is pretty serious stuff. But what I can do is show you this.
Hello. Hello.
Look at that. I mean, I could watch that all day. And think about this. The only beings which are happy right now are dogs. Because their owners are always home. You know, they're like, yay, your owner's home, you're never leaving, yay! And you're the strays, you're like, yay, no one's throwing rocks at us, yay! Well, I wish I was a dog right now. I wish I was stupid and cute. Although, I am accused of being stupid, but not cute. Regardless, I'm human. And I wanted to know what exactly happened. And I want to make sure that everyone is aware of what exactly has happened and if they have to make sure to take any precautions to avoid this in the future. So we invited Dr. Ritesh Shukla. He is a forensic biotechnologist and toxicologist by profession. Currently, he's involved in body fluid identification and also developing a novel method for detection of DNA analysis through blood. He got his doctorate from the CSIR lab, Institute of Toxicology Research, Lucknow. He's published books and he's also published chapters in many other books as well. Currently, he's an assistant professor in Ahmedabad University. Furthermore, to add to his resume, he's part of many conferences and a member of many consortiums of forensic science across the globe. But those are his, regular titles, the ones he uses in everyday work life, and everybody knows him through that. But here's a title you might not have heard of. According to legend, he was the master in MasterChef. And in another world, he would be the Gordon Ramsay of this world. Well, here he is to talk about his culinary skills and about the gas tragedy, Dr. Ritesh Shukla. Dr. Ritesh Shukla, thank you for joining us and being on the show with us. And first off, I hope you and your family are safe.
Yes, everyone is safe.
Good to know that. So, sir, before we go into the gas tragedy, which of course is a tragic event which happened in the past week, why don't we start with you, sir? What in your early school or college days made you realize, okay, science is what I want to pursue?
I can say one thing, I never thought in the direction of to become a scientist. I never thought in this direction because At that moment, I feel that like as normal students, you just finish your postgrad and just go for the job and all these things. But when I qualified the NET examination and got the junior research fellowship, then I decided, no, I think I should go in this direction, and I can think in the direction of the scientist position and the scientific area. And then I started in that direction, and then this is a current situation of mine right now.
I see. So it's a normal story like that. We discovered while we study, and okay, I get that. And so, but you are much more focused in toxicology and forensic science. What made you
Yeah.
pursue this particular field?
Um, for passion to the forensic science started at the time when I was in my graduation, and one day my professor taught us about the role of pollen grains into the to how to solve the crime, and then it fascinates me more towards this particular field. And then in the first time in that class, actually I heard about the forensic science term only, and then I decided to do my postgrad in the forensic science. And then I took admission in Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Agra, and uh, doing my masters in forensic science. And interest in the field of toxicology is actually started when I joined in the CSIR lab, Indian Institute of Toxicology Research, Dr. Dhawan's lab, for doing my PhD in year 2006. So, and that is the reason why I'm passionate for both forensic as well as toxicology.
Well, that's a good service, and that's exactly why you're an ideal candidate to interview right now after this tragedy. Again, it's a tragic reason for an interview, but nonetheless, we wanted to know what exactly happened, and we thought you're the best person to ask. So, coming back to the tragedy which took place, I want to revisit the history once. Like Bhopal Gas Tragedy, of course, was very severe, and recent reports, or rather earlier reports, suggested that this was kind of like Bhopal Gas Tragedy, but thankfully it was not up to that scale. So, in terms of comparison, how do you compare these two? Any similarities and differences? And to add on to that, wasn't there any laws to prevent such things from to happen again?
The history is a better guide for these type of accident or incident which is not actually happen. It should not be happen. Bhopal gas tragedy was caused because of the water entrance into the MIC tank. uh, why it is happened, why the water is enter into that, the reason behind that, we should go to the history of the this particular Bhopal gas tragedy. Bhopal gas tragedy occurred on the 2nd of December in 1984, but actually the it is script is written before that, in the October 22nd, when in the some error, because of some error, the manufacturing unit uh, chloroform solvent which is used for in the MIC distillation, it is mixed with the MIC in the distilled one, and at that time immediately the manufacturing unit is closed, and after that 2 months it is open on 1st of December and is starting the rinsing part of the distillation unit. And during this particular distillation unit rinsing, what will happen, the particular water which is used for the rinsing purpose, it is enter into the MIC tank which contain the chloroform as well as the MIC. And when the water enter into the MIC tank, the exothermic reaction occur, and because of this exothermic reaction, what will happen, the chlorine gas is generated because chloroform is also present inside the MIC tank. And once the chlorine gas is formed, then what will happen, it corrode the stainless steel which is present on the in the tank, and iron is also dissolved from there and mixed with this particular gases mixture tank. And then particularly what happened, the temperature, because of this exothermic reaction occur, the temperature is high, and because of when temperature is high, the gas mixture of this gas is released in the night of 2nd of December, and it become a world worst industrial disaster in Bhopal gas, in the name of Bhopal gas tragedy. If we are talking about the current one, which is a Vizag gas tragedy, which is occur on the 7th of May, the condition of both tragedy is almost similar. Similar in the sense of, in case of Bhopal gas tragedy, the unit is open after a 1.5 month, and here also it is open after a 30 or 40 days of after the lockdown period. This particular unit is open, and in this one, here in this case, perhaps this is a case of the human negligence. Why it is called as a human negligence? Because in case of styrene, in case of Vizag gas tragedy, styrene gas is leaked, and styrene gas is having the property to self polymerization. And to avoid this self polymerization, they should add the one chemical name is a tertiary butyl catechol (TBC), which is used as a inhibitor, polymerization inhibitor into that. Might be possible when they added this particular TBC, it is fully consumed, or it is not appropriately mixed with the styrene gas tank, and because of that, when it is plant is reopened, then temperature is raised because of self polymerization reaction of styrene gases occur, and temperature reach up to the 150 degree, which is a boiling point of styrene, and because of that the styrene gas is released. So similar condition, we can say that what happened into the Bhopal gas tragedy and happened into the Vizag is quite similar, only the gas is different. At that time that is a methyl isocyanate, in this time that is a styrene, but both condition the temperature is more than the boiling point of this particular gas, and because of that this gas is leaked. So this is a quite similar, both conditions quite similar.
Um, well, since the mechanisms are pretty similar, and both these cases, there was a time in which it was left closed, and then after reopening, the gas tragedies happened. So I'm curious here, shouldn't there be, or I'm pretty sure there must be some guidelines in order to make sure that this does not happen again? And why do you think, is there any reason, particular reason why, other than the time of did this happen?
See, guidelines are available with all the industries. It is not like that there is no any guideline. Guideline is there, but and in my opinion, that is a lack of awareness. And second is improper countermeasures has been taken, as well as it is a human negligence. It is a clear-cut human negligence happen in the Bhopal gas tragedy also, and same thing happened in the Vizag. In case of Bhopal gas tragedy, if when they enter rinsing the water, if they close the chamber of MIC, they try to avoid to enter the water into the MIC. They knows that when the white water is enter into the MIC, might be possible the exothermic reaction is occur and temperature will high. And the same thing happened with the styrene gas. In case of this, if they knows that the styrene gas is having the property of the self polymerization, okay, and if the self polymerization is going on, so might be possible the temperature is raised, and because of that the gas will leaked out from the tank. So at that time, if they are taken the permission from the government and they goes to the plant and they enter the added to the TBC properly into the styrene tank, then it might be possible these type of things will not happen, which happened on the 7th of May. So that is I can say that this is a lack of awareness. May be possible the person not fully aware about the gravity or severity of the this particular gas, how it leaked and how it behaved. And second is we can say this is a mis operation or the improper countermeasures which has been taken by the industry, as well as human negligence obviously present into it. If someone is taking the responsibility and going to the industry and they took the initiative and enter the TBC into the styrene gas tank, then might be possible it was not happen.
Okay, so sir, in terms of for people who are living there right now, because there's one of those cases where it's not just a tragedy, it happens right now and then goes away. It's a gas. It's present in the environment, I guess, at least for a few years. So in terms of the people living there, how does styrene exactly affect human beings?
Uh, Basically, styrene gas in the short-term effect, when we are talking about the short-term effect of this particular styrene gas, it leads to the respiratory problems. It creates the irritation in eyes as well as the irritation in mucous membrane and the gastrointestinal tract. While if we are talking about the long-term exposure of this particular styrene gas, so it affects to the central nervous system, and somewhere it is mentioned that if it is leaked for the long time into the environment, it may cause to the cancer uh, and also the depression. So that is the toxicity level of the styrene gas.
So for the situation which happened right now, the leak, if I'm not mistaken, was prevented immediately after it happened. So what kind of effect would that have on that area and the people living there?
Uh, People definitely, if the fully the styrene gas is not removed from that particular environment, so there's a lots of neurological diseases may occur. Definitely we cannot stop them because every person is inhaling. Respiration is a part of the life, so you can't avoid it. So if it is a case, if the gas is still present in the environment, then it is harmful for the person who's residing in the vicinity of this particular industry.
Let's say, let's move on 5 years, maybe even 10 years down the line. Would this still be a problem in that area?
No, because this particular styrene gas is a highly flammable liquid, so it is very fast vaporized. So it is not the condition that it will affect for the long term into the environment. Might be possible for the sometime. Definitely, how much concentration is leaked out, it depends on that. But definitely, it is vaporized very fast, and this is a condition of summer, so temperature is very high also. So I don't think so. It is persists for the long time into that particular environment.
So thankfully, then the good news from this is people can get back to normal. Life can get back to normal.
Exactly.
That's good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
And so I read in a report that forensic scientists identified how this problem did occur due to human error, like you rightly mentioned. How did forensic science play a role in this, and what part of it did it? So if you could enlighten us on that.
As you, I think, as you aware with this, the Andhra Forensic Lab is basically investigating this particular case, and Dr. Styrene is a director into that in Andhra FSL, and personally I know him very well. So forensic science is basically the based on the evidences. This is a science which deals with the evidences only. Okay, and we know very well evidences never say lie. Whatever the evidence is present, on the basis of that we can find the truth. And in the investigation process, basically then it link with the all type of evidences together, and then they provide the possible logical scientific interpretation of the case in front of the court of law. So whatever the investigation process is going on, I'm very sure in the leadership of Dr. Styrene, definitely they resolved the case, and they got the correct thing, what exactly happened into that particular Vizag gas tragedy. Definitely.
Uh, So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I have an emotional connection there as well in Visakhapatnam, because my family and some of my friends actually live there. And once I heard this, I was really worried about them, and so I thought, okay, let me find out anything I can now to make sure that be like, okay, all right. So in general, for the people who live there, what would be your advice right now in order to cope up with the situation?
I can say to the people who is still living over there, not to panic. Don't create a panic situation. Styrene gas is a flammable liquid, so might be possible right now after the 6 or 7 days, it is fully vanished from the environment. There's no any sign of the particular gas is available. So not to worried about it. This is a foremost important thing which they should know, that Styrene gas is fully out from their environment, and if it is not uh, fully vanished out, then might be possible the industry people is still working over there, and they can remove the gas from there. So not to the panic situation right now. So it is not the case.
That is great news, Dave. Good to hear. So before we leave, we want to ask you this. I mean, your culinary skills are pretty legendary. Am I wrong? Or so I want to know if do you have anything to say about how this dream of being a chef started, other than just being having a passion for forensic and toxicology.
Um, Here I can say that this is a passion which is created because I'm a bachelor till now. Okay, this is the most important factor. If you are married, then might be possible you are not taking so much interest in cooking and all these things. But if you are not, you are bachelor, and obviously you are still a bachelor. You know very well if you're not getting the food properly, or you are getting the food into the very oily food from the restaurant and the mess. That is not good for the health. So definitely you are moving towards the self cooking, and then I started my cooking in my PhD time only, and I love cooking right now because after some time I learned lots of dishes and all these things. So now I learn many things, and now I love to cooking. And cooking is a very good stress buster. If you want to release your stress, you do cooking and love your work. Definitely, whatever you did in the morning to evening, after cooking, everything is gone from your mind. So this is a very good thing which I'm doing. As a toxicologist, I know that what is the level of stress right now and how it affect to your body. As a forensic expert also, I know that if stress is increased, then what is the consequences in terms of the cases of suicides and all these things happen. So that's why I'm busy myself into the cooking, so that I'm out from these things. So that is the reason I'm doing the cooking. And but obviously I love cooking. I love cooking.
Okay. That's a great answer. Actually, a wonderful hobby, and I of course I hope we all can come and taste your beautiful dishes, tasty dishes one day. And
Sure,
so
sure.
before
Most
ending,
welcome.
thank you. So before we end the interview, I just like to say that for people who are suffering and for people that are sincere condolences, and don't worry, things will get better. And for Ritesh sir, thank you so much for doing this for us and for giving us guidance on how to tackle this and what exactly happened, and for giving some good news. Okay, we are going to recover. Don't worry.
Thank you, Pranay.